Let's bring in Mailman, the director for the Independent Women's Law Center, former White House attorney under the Trump administration. May, good morning to you. And I want to get your perspective from the legal side of things. Where do we go from here?
Well, this is a messaging call. A call for a constitutional amendment right now is not serious. I think that the only thing really is how destabilizing this is by calling the judiciary, which is now a common refrain from Biden, not normal. It basically says that the judiciary is not something that you should follow, that this is not a legitimate Supreme Court. And when you don't have a judiciary that people listen to, you don't have the rule of law. So yes, there are constitutional proposals. No, those are not serious. But I think that the serious thing is the real destabilizing impact that these calls have.
So are you saying you don't agree then with sort of what the president said in his op-ed this morning? I'll read it again. He said, what is happening now is not normal, and it undermines the public's confidence in the court's decisions, including those impacting personal freedoms.
Yeah, so I think
you don't agree with that?
At the Supreme Court, the Dobbs term, Clarence Thomas was in dissent more than any other justice that term. So the Democrats vote as a bloc 83% of the time versus the conservatives vote as a bloc only 33% of the time. The number of cases, big cases, conservative cases that the Supreme Court has not ruled for the conservative position or dodged is endless. They could have taken the abortion pill off of the shelves. They didn't. They could have said that Joe Biden was abdicating his duty on the southern border. They didn't. They could have said that the Biden administration was censoring Americans through Twitter. They didn't. This is case after case after case. In Alabama, they gave another Democrat district by saying that the state was too racist. I mean, case after case where the Supreme Court has not sided with the conservatives. And yet Joe Biden is basically lying to the American people, saying that because there are a couple of decisions that he doesn't like, that somehow this is not a legitimate Supreme Court.
Well, but the optics of Supreme Court justices accepting gifts, the optics aren't great.
Yeah, so I think that Justice Sotomayor is the key one of those, right? So if you're going to talk about Supreme Court justices and whether there should be ethics reform, I think number one should be, well, Justice Sotomayor made millions of dollars from a book publisher and then decided that book publisher's case. But no, we're never talking about that. We're only talking about Justice Alito flying a flag. And so you can see that these are not actually serious ethics proposals, but let's just say they are. And so will it be better for America if Congress has direct oversight over the Supreme Court? No, that'll obviously make it more political, because Congress then can go and request all sorts of records. Congress can have oversight. Congress can say, you should be sitting on this case. You shouldn't be sitting on this case. You did a good job. You didn't do a good job. And when you have that level of congressional meddling over a co-equal branch of government set up by our Constitution, then you no longer have three separate branches. You have Congress overseeing the judiciary. That is, you just have a super Congress.
Okay. May Mailman, thanks for joining this conversation. Really appreciate it. We'll see what happens here. Of course, a lot of the conversation this morning as well is about the timing of all of this, coming from a president who's already stated he's not running for re-election in November. We'll see how it all plays out. May Mailman, thanks so much.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.